Welcome to the 7-day personal brand challenge. I've put together this video series to teach you how to go from ideation all the way to posting a video. This is for people who have never posted a video before or are looking to nail down their systems and techniques to put out great quality content consistently. We're gonna go day by day aspects of posting your video like ideation, scripting, editing, writing, and posting. Also that by day 7, you have a finely crafted video to post on your social media. As a quick introduction, I went from a full-time consultant all the way to a full-time content creator, and I now coach people on how to build their personal brands and to start making money online. I currently coach all different sizes of creators, all the way from people getting their first followers online to people with 100, 200, and 300k followers, all on how to monetize their audience. I've also hit an audience of 7 million a month with my own content, so I'm gonna be sharing everything I've learned from my coaching and my own content in this 7-video series. I'm gonna give you a lot of information, but I promise you, if you stick with it, you're gonna learn everything there is to know about making a successful personal brand online. And if you can't make it to video 7, I have bad news for you. You're probably not gonna stick with the consistency needed to build your personal brand online. So let's get on with the first video, which is about locking down your why. Okay, so as I said, this 7-day posting challenge is all about, at the end of the 7 videos, getting one really high quality post out. But not only will it do that, but after these 7 videos, you will understand the fundamentals of how to start or how to continue building your own personal brand to get to 5K and beyond, consistently posting great quality content. And you're probably thinking, I want to get straight into making content. I want to know exactly how to come up with ideas, how to edit, all of these questions. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to be getting onto those answers in the coming days. But the first most important thing with consistently building your personal brand is to understand why you're doing it. And I'm a big believer in just getting going and posting videos, but it's good to pause and just think exactly at the start, why are you building this? Because I promise you, after 2 months, you'll be sat there in your kitchen, you'll be tired, you'll have a long day of work, and you'll be like, I can't be bothered to post. And if you haven't locked down your why, then you will fall off. And the only thing you need to do in this game of content creation and personal brand building is stay consistent and stay in the game. So locking down your why, massively important at the start. So in terms of the foundations, what we're going to talk about firstly is just have a think to yourself. These are the 3 key questions that I would ask yourself, and I ask everyone that I'm coaching is, firstly, what's your North Star? What are you actually doing this for? Where do you want to be in 1 year's time that's going to help, that content is going to help you get to that point? For me, it was quitting my job and building a personal brand that I could leverage to start my own business. But what is your North Star? What do you actually want to be doing in a year's time? Where do you want to be sat? Who do you want to be sat with? And what do you want to be occupying your day and bringing money in? That is really important, because if content doesn't fit into that, then there's likelihood that you'll probably fall off at some point. But for most people, I'm sure you're watching this and you can work out why content fits into that. It's very important to not forget that, because that will keep you posting and posting and posting. But remember what your North Star is and always have that in the back of your mind. And then here I've got the mindset shifts that you need to go through. And you might think, oh, mindset, I just want to get posting. But actually, mindset shifts are the most important thing with getting started in an online business and having consistency in this world. And the first is an abundance mindset. Every opportunity becomes an ability to get more, to provide more value and to show yourself to more people, as opposed to looking at posting as one flop being a fail and a negative. We want to start thinking that there are value in the world and people want to pay us for things. We just have to give them value and build trust with them. So an abundance mindset as opposed to a scarcity mindset is super, super important. The second is that you fall to the level of your systems. And actually, we might have massively aspirational goals of where we want to be, but if you don't have systems in place that are going to allow you to keep producing great content and working hard, then you will fall to those levels and you will fall off and lose your consistency. The third mindset shift that is massively important is you are the product of the 5 people around you. Your environment is so important. And in content creation, it is so important to find communities like the Free Thinkers Club that I have, where you connect with people who are in the same boat as you and keep you motivated and keep you going along. If you're full of people who don't respect you doing content, who don't understand why you're doing content, then you're gonna fall off. So try and connect with people who are on a similar journey to you. The fourth thing, and this is one of my favorite things, is the victim attitude. A lot of people have this victim attitude, which is if things go wrong, it's not your fault. Everything that goes wrong in our lives, we can work out why it could have been our fault. And I would 100% make sure that when we're going into this content creation, we work out that everything that goes wrong is something bad that we did, but at the same time, it's just something we can learn from and keep going on. Instead of blaming other people, blaming environments, saying that you can't post because of some other reason, working out how you can actually learn from the things and get things out there better. So victim attitude, get rid of that. And then lastly is the perfection mindset. This is the killer of every beginner content creator, is that they want to put something out there that's perfect. We are going to be awful at the start. Some of my posts from a year ago were absolutely awful. But now I know that I'm happy I didn't get in the perfection mindset, because it's just important to get things out there and learn every time we do. That involves all of the other attitudes and the mindsets that I've just spoken about. Get rid of perfectionism and just be shit in public to start off with, because you'll be so much better every time you post after that. So they are the mindset shifts that you need to go through. Okay, and now we'll get on to what I call the spaghetti theory of content creation. And this is the number one, this is the 101 of how to be a successful content creator. It helped me scale to 7 million views a month. It is literally called the spaghetti theory of content creation for a reason, because what we want to do with content creation, everyone overcomplicates it. What we want to do is we want to get our bit of spaghetti, we want to throw it at the wall, and we want to throw more spaghetti. Every time, our spaghetti is our videos, by the way. We're throwing spaghetti at the wall, we're posting videos, and we just want to work out when something hits. So when spaghetti hits the wall, and that's why I call it the spaghetti theory of content creation, because all we're doing is throwing spaghetti at a wall and waiting for it to hit. And when something does hit, and that is described as when something does better than our average views, we want to double down on that. Double down when the spaghetti hits. So for example, in my videos, I posted loads of videos for the first 6 months, and then I started posting street interviews. That hit, the views were really good, so I doubled down on that. I doubled down on the interview videos, and that is what you want to do. You want to start off by throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying out ideas, being creative, thinking of doing anything you can, and then when something hits, you double down. And we'll talk about the 60-40 theory after that. But right now, we want to just double down. And that is the end of the Lockdown Your Why module. And also, let's watch the next video, day 2, which is all about picking your niche. I will catch you there. Okay, so welcome to day 2 of the 7-day personal brand challenge. Congratulations on making it to the second video. I guarantee most people won't be doing that, so you're already ahead of the curve. The second video, the day 2 video, is all about picking your niche. And this is a bit of a trick title, because the truth is, at the start, or even if you're sub 5,000 followers, sub 10,000 followers, you do not want to be picking your niche. And I am going to explain exactly in this video why all you need to do is just get started. So bear with me. This will be a very, very quick video, but it's very important to keep this mindset and to keep this in your mind while you are going about and making your content. And the reason that you do not want to pick your niche is because of the content funnel. And the thing about the content funnel, this is a very fancy marketing content funnel, but what it actually just means is that at all parts of the content funnel, we have different purposes for our content. So at the bottom here, we have a purchase. I'm sure at some point you're thinking about some sort of monetization of this. But at the top here, we just have awareness. And let me tell you a very quick story, is that I actually bought a program from someone who I originally came across his content because he posted a video about what it was like to live in Dubai. And I bought a program with him about content creation, completely unrelated. But the reason that I say that is because at the top here, all we're posting about right now is bringing awareness to you. People need to find out who you are and what your story is and what you're about and what you're interested in before you can then bring them into your funnel, where people start getting more closer and closer and closer to the actual purchase. So the reason that I say that is because you don't need to pick your niche. All you need to do is post. All you need to do is start making content now and getting stuff out there that you're interested in, because that will bring awareness into you. And then further down the line, we will start putting more and more content out about the specific niche that you're talking about. So that is why we are not picking a niche yet. And the other reason is because people always get analysis paralysis. It is the biggest curse of the beginner content creator. I cannot tell you the amount of people who have come to me and they have 1,000 words on a Notion, fancy diagrams, fancy Miro boards, and they've got it all planned out. And I ask them, have you posted a video yet? And they go, no. And I'm like, do not talk to me in the nice way possible. Do not talk to me until you've posted at least 10 videos, because then I know you're serious about getting started. And then we have something to work with. But the biggest problem is just posting. So I recommend with your post is to just get started. And that is what this 7-day personal challenge is going to do, because by the end of the 7 days, you will have got started. So don't worry about your niche. Don't worry about making a massive grand plan. After 7 of these videos, you will be able to post your first video and we can get the journey and the ball rolling. So the last thing I want to tackle in day 2 is probably the biggest question that you have, and is what everyone comes to me, and it's the fear. And I call it the fear because we're all terrified about what our parents, what our grandparents, what our friends, what our uncles' dogs going to think about us posting online. And that is the biggest thing to get over. And this is how I reason with it. People will laugh at you. People will laugh at you. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the world is a lovely place. People will be like, what are you doing? Why are you posting online? That's ridiculous. Why are you doing that? And you have to get over that. You have to accept that. And the other thing is, your first few videos will be awful. They will be awful. I look back at my videos, even from 2 or 3 months ago, and go, I can't believe I posted that online. But that is the beauty of content creation. So, as I said in the day 1 module, is what is your North Star? This is how you get over the fear. This is how you get over it, is what is your North Star? And another question I love asking myself is, what is worse, the regret or the fear of judgment? And you never want to sit there and ever regret because of the fact that you were scared of what other people thought of you. And then the other thing is to ask yourself, why are you actually worried? What are people actually going to say at you? Because some people may laugh, some people may joke, but is it actually going to change your life if someone thinks your posting online is funny? It's this spotlight effect. People really don't care about you as much as they think. It's very important to ask yourself these 3 questions, and then that will help you get over what I call the fear, and it will help you get your first post out. But next steps is we're going to day 3 and we're going to start talking about actually making your videos. Thanks for sticking along, and let's get into making videos now. Tomorrow is all about coming up with ideas for your first video, and I'll see you there. In the last 60 days, I've grown 3,000 followers, created 3 reels over 200k views, and 7 over 50k. Sorry to blow my own trumpet, but for an account of only 5,000 followers, these figures are genuinely pretty unheard of. And it's all because of one thing: the effort that I put into creating video ideas. In this video, I'm going to explain the exact system that I use to come up with these ideas on a consistent basis. And I'm so confident in the system that I even posted this story saying that my reel was going to go viral before I'd even posted it. And guess what? It hit the algorithm and it hit 20k views within the first 24 hours of being posted. So sit down and relax, and I'm going to go through the 3 ways that you can create consistent viral video ideas. And these are the 3 ways that I create viral topics. The first way is the best asset that you have, that no one else has the same as you, which is your brain. And you're going to say, oh, well, like that's obvious. Of course I can come up with ideas in my brain. But let's talk about exactly how you can create viral topics from your brain. So the best thing about your brain, as I said, is it's completely unique to yourself. And what you want to do is you want to use the unique thinking power of the brain to come up with some amazing ideas. So this is how you're going to do it. So the first thing you're going to ask yourself is, what do you actually want to make videos about? Because it's easy to say, okay, this is a viral topic, I'm going to make this as my video, right? But the most authentic videos, the videos that hit the million the million view mark, are the videos that are the most authentic. And still today, my best performing video is my job quitting video, the most authentic video to me talking about the emotional experience of quitting my job. So what is the most authentic subject to you? What do you actually want in your heart of hearts want to make video about? When I ask you this question, what springs to mind firstly? Because I can tell you all of these other tactics of how to use social media and use AI, but really it comes down to what is most authentic about you, because that is where you're going to deliver the most passion and most knowledge to an audience. So what you want to do is when you're thinking about these things, you want to think, what do you want to make your video about? But at the same time, I love this concept that the brain was designed, the mind was designed to come up with ideas, not store them. Someone said that, I can't remember who, but someone said that. And what we want to do is not only think and use this asset we have up here to think about the viral videos that we can make because they're authentic, but we also want to capture ideas that come to us throughout the day and store them somewhere. So firstly, I have something called spam ideas, which I've gone through in previous videos, but my spam ideas list is thousands of lines long. And anytime I have a thought in my head, anytime I have a thought about anything in life, like kind of relevant to videos, but anything in life, I write it down there. And so I'll be walking and I'll be like, oh, you know, it's really interesting that, I don't know, I look outside and it's really interesting that like Dubai is incredibly hot for most of the year, but then some points it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of freestyling, but any idea that I have I write down in that spam idea. And the great thing about that is when you come to make your videos, you don't want to be thinking in your head, oh, what should I make a video about? You want to refer back to this list. So creating a spam ideas list is the way to collect a load of different thoughts that you have throughout the day, mesh them together, and that is going to make the most authentic to you video. Trust me, it works. It is better than trying to kind of copy Logan Paul's video idea. It's a great idea. It creates authentic videos, and authenticity is what absolutely Prince views in the right now in the social media environment. The second thing I would do is create systems that help you to also capture those ideas. So for example, I have a notebook next to my desk and also next to my bed, because I find that there's certain times when I'm going to get creative thoughts. And that is, for example, while I'm sleeping or while I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm sure you can relate to that. All the thoughts coming in your head. Genius video ideas come to you when you are just about to go to sleep, and you'll forget them unless you write them down. Second thing is I use Siri loads. I can't say it right now because all my things are going to go off, but I say the word hi and then I say Siri. And what that does is that, and then I say, set a reminder for an hour's time, and then I say what I was thinking. If I'm driving or something like that, that obviously helps. And then the other thing is I work out where my creative outlets are. That's meant to say outlets. What are my creative outlets? So I find that when I'm going for a walk, or I find when I'm going for a drive, there are when I get my most creative ideas. So to create viral topics, you want to create as many creative outlets as possible and put them into your day. And that is going to give you times when you create video ideas. You then put them on the bedside note table, you use reminders, you put them in spam ideas, and that is going to create the most authentic videos possible. Okay, I appreciate you maybe listening to that and think, Sol's told me absolutely nothing. He's basically told me to create viral video topics. All I have to do is come up with video ideas from my brain. And I do understand that. And don't get me wrong, I think that's one way to do it, but it's not the only way. And let's go into the second and the third way to create viral topics. The second way to do it is, as everything these days, is using AI. And the thing I think about AI, and I've said this here, is that AI will not replace us, but the person who uses it will. And there's a fascinating use case for AI in creativity here. And it's not that it's going to come up with your ideas, because it genuinely doesn't come up with very good ideas. But what it does come up with, and what it does help you with, is creating a canvas in the first place. And I don't want to start with a blank canvas. If I sit down right now and have to make a video, you probably sit there and you're like, oh, it's impossible to think of a video if I'm going to ask you what your video idea is. But using AI, you can start the process off by jogging your thought process by coming up with ideas. And I have created this prompt, which I've adapted from Matthew Gray, which basically creates viral ideas for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this prompt to come up with ideas for us in ChatGPT. So we go to ChatGPT and we're going to paste it in. As you'll see right at the bottom, you'll have the whole prompt. And by the way, if you want this prompt, then check the first link in my description, because it's going to be in my school community. My school community, the Free Thinkers, it's about people who want to create using their brain and escape the 9 to 5. It's almost 100 members. I'd love to have you in there. Prices are going on soon, and currently it's free. So get in while you can. But that community is rocking and rolling, and this prompt is in there. So all you have to do is get this prompt from the community. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this part, And all you have to do with this prompt is come up with your content categories. So as you can see here, we've got the content categories already. Okay, and as you can see here, it has very well populated the table for us. And right now, we now have all of the different content buckets that I want to speak about and different types of video ideas. So here you have a ridiculous amount of video ideas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 42, great maths, 42 video ideas right here that you can start as your early canvas. So you might want to change it, but right now we're going, okay, let's pick a random one. We've got deep dive hooks for deep dive videos for living in Bali. The cost of living in Bali, breaking down the numbers. Again, like, we can adapt that. It might be the cost of eating in Bali. It might be the cost of going out in Bali. But that's a great early start. And what it's done is ChatGPT has gone into viral videos around the internet and worked out what would be a great idea. And this is going to print us. This is 42 days worth of videos. 42 days worth of videos. Like, if you use this, I could easily just put another prompt in and say, okay, do the exact same, but don't repeat any of the same videos. And then we get another 42 and another 42. And whenever I'm struggling for video ideas, this is a fail-safe way to absolutely guarantee that you're going to have good video ideas. It works every time. So one thing I would highly recommend is, if you want to use ChatGPT, be my guest. It's an absolute dream, and you can use AI to make these viral video ideas. So second way, first way, use your brain. Second way, use AI. Amazing. Okay, that's the second way. The third way is the thing that no one admits. And this is the limiting belief that I have to time and time again, the people that I coach, is to tell them, no one admits this in the game, but I'm going to admit this for you today. And this is what no creator admits, is your third way to come up with viral topic ideas is to copy. You might hate me for saying this, but even Pablo Picasso himself said, good artists copy, great artists steal. So let me give you the exact step-by-step way to steal viral video ideas. And I think this is the number one way to print views on Instagram. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna find 3 influencers or creators that you like. You're then gonna go to their homepage, find their top ranked videos in recent history, and collect 3 video ideas. So we're gonna use my favorite creator. You're welcome to use any creator you want, but we'll use me just as an example. What we're gonna do is we're gonna find my 3 best performing videos. So as you can see here, I have them nicely pinned at the top. And I'm gonna save you the time and effort of having to watch them with me right now. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna write down the 3 generic or meta ideas of what that video was. Those videos were an activity video where I gave myself a challenge to network, a video where I had a big life event happen, and the third one was a day out of spending money in London. So they're the meta concepts. And then what you're gonna do, which is step 4, which is why it's not immoral to copy, is you're gonna put your take on them. Because what you know is that subject, that problem evoking feeling, is a viral video idea. But what is gonna make it your video is you're gonna put your situation to it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add it. So for example here, what you see is it's an activity plus a challenge plus an end result. So you wanna think of an activity you can do, create a challenge around it with an end result. The second way you can copy my video that went big is talk about a big life event. I was talking about quitting my job. Yours could be talking about, I don't know, the death of someone, or it could be talking about the separation of your parents, or it could be talking about breaking up with someone. But any big life event, copy that. It's a viral video idea. The third one is create a relatable challenge. The relatable challenge was spending money in London, and then an end reward. So the end reward was like, how much did I spend in London? So that is something you can copy, and you can copy that with anything. You can copy that. How many keepy uppies can I do? How many interviews can I do in a week? How many rejections can I get? There's so many ways to go about creating that. And no one wants to admit that you should just copy. But the best thing about social media is you have data points everywhere which are going to tell you what things do well and what things do badly. So why would you ever do things that might risk doing badly? That's my philosophy. And it's not stealing in an immoral way, because you're not taking someone's idea and doing the exact same thing. You're taking it and you're putting your own spin on it. And let me tell you this, when I did my quitting job post, I watched, it must have been at least 100 videos of people quitting their jobs. And I wrote down on a piece of paper every single aspect of that video that I liked and every single aspect that I wanted to put into my own video. I combined that all together and that created my video. So you can do that as well. Collate video ideas from other people and combine them, or just copy the basic premise. And that is my third way to create viral video ideas that are guaranteed to consistently print views on Instagram. Thanks for watching. Again, I share all my tips in my community, 2 weekly calls. It's free, but it will be paid soon. So get in while you can, and I'll check you in the next video. Okay, so welcome to day 4 of the Personal Branding Challenge. Congratulations on getting this far. I am convinced that people will fall off because people are not consistent in this game. So congratulations on getting this far. And this video is all about writing the killer scripts for the ideas that we've come up with from day 3. So we're gonna use one of the ideas that you came up with and we're gonna make a banger of a script. And just before we get into exactly what that is, I just want to say that ideation is first the most important thing, and second, scripting. Everything else apart from that is really not key to a great video. Scripting is so important because in short form content, we are hanging on to every second. Every single second is really, really important in this game. So scripting after your idea is a massive focus on creating absolutely banging videos. And let's get into the video basics. So to reinforce that point, what you'll see here is this is a graph of one of my videos. And you'll see that at the start, people start at 150%. That's just because people reshare. But you can see the drop off. Every single second, we lose people. Every single second. And we can see that if we don't keep people's attention, then they will just leave the video. And that is why you see a big drop somewhere like here, because at that point in my video, about 5 or 6 seconds into my video, I clearly didn't keep the viewer hooked enough. My script needed improving. And that is so interesting, and it shows how important writing a killer script is, because you can have a good idea, but if you don't deliver that idea well, you will lose people. And what you want to do is create a flat graph here where people stay and people don't leave because you've written a killer script. As you can see from this cliff here, is that the hook, which is the first 3 seconds of the video, is the single most important thing. Because if you imagine when people are on social media, they scroll like this, and they're judging your video within the first 3 seconds. And if they don't get enough value, if they don't see a reason to stay, they will click off. And this is where you lose most people in your videos. So what we want to do is we want to create a pattern interrupt in the first 3 seconds to get people to stay. And that defines the start of this graph and the gradient of it. So the hook, most important thing. The second most important thing that I want to get into is the idea of what we're going to do with our content. So with the educational versus entertainment versus this magic sweet spot. So if you think about entertainment content creators like Mr. Beast, they're the people where you watch the videos and you laugh, or you maybe feel inspired, or you literally feel like you're watching a TV show. And then we have the educational content creators. We have people who make content about science, people who make content about getting into university, people who make educational content on careers. What we want to do, and this is the new style of content creator, is we want to be in this magic sweet spot. So we want to work out how we can entertain people, but also give them education and give them value through transferring information. The magic sweet spot, like a kind of Ali Abdaal style content creator, is this middle area between entertaining people and also giving them value and information. This middle part of the Venn diagram, massively interesting. How can you entertain people and educate them at the same time? So within killer script writing, there is one hack that I've used, that is creating a system that helps me print views. So within that system, what I do is I have my killer script template. And in that killer script template, I will share this with you, and this is going to help you write the basics of an amazing script. The first thing is the overall structure. And what I do is every time I make a video, I keep this at the top and I write my script in here. But what we do is we start off with a hook. As I said, the first 3 seconds, we want to spend a disproportionate amount of time on the first 3 seconds, because that is what gets people involved. So the hook is the most important thing. Then we go into the problem that we're solving. So we get a hook to get people's attention. Then we tell them what problem we're solving. And then we do something called objection handling, which is something that keeps relatable and it acknowledges the audience's concerns. Let me give you an example. So for example, if I was making a video about how to get started in content creation, then an objection handling would be talking about the fact that there's a fear. So people might get scared of actually starting. So I go, okay, I know you're probably listening to this and thinking it sounds absolutely terrifying to make content. And that is objection handling. That's the third thing you want to do in your script. But then we get into the bulk of the script, the 60-70%, which is the value. So just to go over that again, we have our hook, which is our first 3 seconds of the video. And then we're going into the problem we're solving. And then we objection handle. And then we give the value. And that gets, from what I found, the best viewer retention. So to talk about the hook, these are the things you want to include in your hook. So to think about these things, it's a little checklist of the ways to make a really good hook. Did you speak to the viewer using a you or your? So is this your biggest problem? You might not know this. Talking to the viewer. Someone is looking at their phone like this and wants to know that you're talking to them. Is there a bold, controversial statement? Is there a sense of urgency? Is there an outcome or reward that we've created? And is there social proof? All of the important things, including the first 3 seconds. The more of that list you can tick off in the first 3 seconds, the better. And every time I'm writing a script as well, I create these 2 prompts. What is the main takeaway from the video? What am I actually looking to get from the video as a viewer? What am I giving to the viewer? So for example, if we were talking about a video as how to get started in content, that would be the takeaways. This is how you get started. So for example, just doing is how you get started. That would be, let's even write that in. Just doing is how you get started. The second is, what problem am I solving? So here we know that the problem I'm solving here by the just doing part of the video is procrastination. I am solving the problem of the viewer that people procrastinate about starting their video. So all of these things to go over, we've worked out our hook. We've then made sure that we're giving one takeaway and one problem that we're solving with our video. And then we want to go into actually writing the script itself. So you've got your hook. You've used these for the hook. We've got our hook. We've talked about the problem that we're solving. And then we're going into the value part. So these are the things that I include to try and think about what to include in my value part. So firstly, amazing is, can you involve a personal story? I was thinking about procrastinating and I remember sitting in Bali and I remember going, oh, should I post this? Should I post this? A personal story. Is there social proof or authority? Have you given a reason for people to listen to you? Is saying, okay, I've made 25 videos and this is the reason that I got over procrastination. A bit of authority, people listen to you. And then have you made the details of the script applicable to the specific situations that you're in? Then you get onto the names and numbers and quotes. Can you get names, numbers, or quotes into your script? And lastly, is there a stake or is there a payoff? So have you given a reason for someone to watch to the end? So all of these things are super, super important to try and include in your script. So I've created this checklist, I've created this resource. This is available for you to access. You can go into this and when we're writing our script with the video idea that you got from the last day, use this script template, and this script template will show you exactly how to make your first killer script for your video. So use this resource, fill it out, and I will see you in the next day. Okay, so welcome to day 5, which is action time. We are filming, and you might think this might be the hardest part. I can assure you that this is the part which takes a bit of getting used to, but in terms of overthinking it, is the part that's overthought. And very simply, we want to make this as easy as possible, and it can be as easy as possible with these 4 steps. So congratulations on making this far. Let's keep going. So on the first step, what we want to do is work out our camera. And very, very simply, don't overcomplicate this. You don't need a fancy, like massive Canon camera. Literally just pick up your phone and start recording. It's very simple. We don't need to be looking for HD here. Don't overcomplicate it. We go with the phone. Step 2, lighting. This is the part that I believe is important to get a minimum good quality video. And you will see from these two lovely selfies that I have taken that the lighting is so key. And even more pronounced right now is the way you see me right now is because I have a light just up here. Wait, I might be able to show you. I have a big light just up there, and that makes the image much better. In fact, this is gonna be better. And then look what happens when I turn the light off. Completely different. And the selfies show what was happening when I was lit. So you can see the light back on. You can see what will happen when I was lit with my face with a window in front of me and my face when I turned to the side. So minimum is to make sure that we're lit by something. And the way you can do that is windows, sun facing, a lamp or lighting. Again, you don't need to buy a fancy lighting like me, but to make sure you're sat in front of a window is a game changer for making it look like you've put a bit of effort into your video. So don't worry about the camera, but the lighting, I would say, get a minimum viable lighting so that at least your face is lit. Again, don't worry about fancy lighting, just so it's lit. Then the third step is the sound. And yes, when you get further into this game, you will start investing into sound, you will start investing into quality equipment. That is great, but all you need to worry about now is getting a quiet environment. A quiet environment where there's not a lot of background noise, and even if there is a little bit, you can reduce the noise in the editing part of the module, which is the next day. So all you need to do is find a quiet environment. Step 4 is the fun part. Step 4 is about filming. All you are going to do is prop your phone up on a stand, and you're then going to speak into your phone. And you don't need a fancy stand. All you need is like a little mug, something like this, and just prop up your phone on the mug. Very easy, with a good bit of lighting, and go for that. The one pro tip I'm going to say before we get into that, so we're about to press record. Try this. It's amazing to make you feel like you're not performing, to make it feel very natural, is the laughing hack. And I was taught this by a friend, Mino, and he said that what you got to do before you start filming, and I did it before I started filming this, was just laugh out loud. And I just laughed. So like this. Because what it does is it boosts the serotonin, there's some science behind it. It boosts the serotonin, makes you happier, makes everything feel a bit more natural than you just talking into a bit of metal in front of you. So go for that. And then we do the laughing hack, and then we press record, and then we do one take and we deliver the script. So there we go. To sum that up, easy camera. Just make sure you're lit nicely. Make sure you're in a quiet environment. Prop your phone up, give yourself a little laugh, and then deliver your script. Deliver the script, and then we have the next step, which is the fun part, which is editing that bit of footage that we've got. So I will see you in that day 6. Almost done, almost ready to get that video going. Let's get going, and congrats on making this far. I will see you tomorrow. Okay, so welcome to day 6 of the 7-day personal branding challenge. Congratulations again on making it to day 6. It's not easy to get here, but we are so almost done to having our finalized video out there. So this is going to be the very simple guide to editing, and editing is something that people massively overcomplicate. It's one of the scariest parts because most people have never edited before. You probably have never edited before, or you're very much at the beginning stages of it. And yes, we can get into very advanced editing, and if you're a professional editor, then I'm sure you're amazing at it. But right now for us here, we want to keep it a very simple process. And some of the content creators that I work with who are doing 100, 200, 300K are just editing their own videos, and it takes them less than 20 minutes to edit each video. So let's not overcomplicate this. And all you need is these 5 steps, and you're going to have a fully ready edited video ready to post. Okay, so the first step that you need to do is to choose your editing software. So the editing software that I use is CapCut, but I also know that Premiere Pro is used, but I would recommend using CapCut. That's what I use. And the other thing is I would recommend buying the Pro version. And yes, I know it's annoying to already have to spend money before you're making money, but the Pro version includes a few very, very useful things like transcript editing, like auto captions, that make the whole process far, far easier. It's something like 10 USD a month, the best 10 USD a month you will ever spend in terms of time and ease. The other question that you need to ask yourself is, do you want to do it on your phone or your computer? I know a lot of content creators who do it on their phone, but me and most people that I work with prefer doing it on a computer. It saves storage. It also feels, and like operates a bit easier, and you know, it's a bit more of a sit down and edit as opposed to on your phone. If I'm on the move, I'll use my phone, but I think it's better to get into the habit of using your computer, especially if you want to move into longer form stuff, or especially if you're working with a lot of files. Much easier to work around using a computer. So I'd recommend using a computer, but all of the things that I'm going to say below apply to also using a phone as well. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you the next few steps within CapCut itself. And we want to do two things to firstly start. The first thing we want to do is a transcript editor. So I'm going to flash up here, I'm going to flash up CapCut. So this is our CapCut project. We have clicked on new project and we have this screen open. And what I've already done is I've already imported a few videos, but if you don't have your videos already imported, you'll just click the import button here and you'll find your videos that you've either sent over via AirDrop, sent over via, or downloaded via your Google Photos, your iCloud photos, and you'll have them on your computer or on your phone, and then you put them into this place. And then what we do is we add our first bit of video, and this bit of video is just my raw speaking video. This is where I'm just speaking. This is me delivering the script that we spoke about yesterday. So the script is delivered. The best way and the biggest time hack to get round editing this very quickly is to do something called transcript editing. And what transcript editing does is it scans the video and it converts it to text. And it then means that what you can do is you can go through and edit the video using the text. So what you'll see here is this is the text of the video, and I can go through and I can get rid of certain parts and add them back in. I can edit it that way, and that is so much easier than having to listen through to the whole thing. So the one thing that I'd recommend doing is you do this, but you could also ×2 on the speed. So if you've got an even longer video, then it still works exactly how to edit. But what the people, so this video is all about, but you can also put it on ×2 to speed it up if you need to. So I'm just going to pretend that I've done my transcript editing, but very simply here, to get rid of parts you don't like, if I didn't want this part, I just delete it. And as you can see, it all tracks the changes in here. So it just accompanies that clip. So that's the first thing that we want to do. The second thing that we want to do, and this is the biggest thing with editing, this is the real reason that we edit as opposed to just uploading, is remember what I said, we are fighting for seconds of time in content creation, and what we want to do is remove the gaps that we have in our speech. So again, CapCut has this amazing feature where you can see the sound waves, and if you see here, clicking away. So editing is stops people from clicking away. There's a nice big breath that I take between here. And what we want to do is we want to get rid of these breaths, because if you look at videos online, on Instagram, on TikTok, people do not keep their breaths in. And that's because that is a massive chance for people to swipe away. So what we do with the gaps is we want to split the clip here. You could either use a shortcut or just use this. And then what we want to do is we want to drag it here so that we connect the sound waves up from clicking away. So editing is, so as you can see there, that gap is now gone. And we want to do that for every single time that we take a breath or there is just a gap in what we're saying. So again, a massive gap here. I use the shortcut there, another shortcut here, and I get rid of the gap. So you want to split the clip, and then you use the delete left or delete right, or you can just manually drag it. Process the most people, that gets rid of the gaps. So that is the first thing to do, the first most important thing. So what we should have now is we should have our fully complete clip with all of the text we want in, with all of the words we want in, with no pauses or gaps, so that we keep the retention up. So that is step 3. So at that point, you have a clip and it's ready to post. But there are a few other things we want to do to increase the retention and increase the quality of the video. And that is where we get into step 4. The two things that I would recommend starting with as your beginner to get in your first video is first, add B-roll, and second, add captions. So the first thing about B-roll, and B-roll, A-roll is what we call this part. This is the clip that is the kind of base clip. And the B-roll is the other clips that we film throughout the day where we're just doing things. So adding in B-roll is great. And I'll be talking more about how you can actually film B-roll in further modules. But just importantly now, just of you doing anything. So here, I was just on my laptop and I was working, prop my phone up and just filmed a video. So we're gonna just to show you what it looks like to add this clip in. So what you want to do is you want to, again, go through the same process of adding it into the computer. And then what we'll do is we'll just add it over here. So as you can see, we want to line it up with a certain part of the clip, and this will depend on what style video you're making, but just putting in B-roll throughout the video keeps the viewer guessing, keeps the viewer engaged because you're telling part of the story. So I'm going to put this B-roll in just here, and if you put it above the A-roll, so the A-roll goes in this main frame clip and the B-roll goes above it, and you can see it's really watchable and it stops people from clicking away. That. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we get rid of the volume. So if we get rid of the volume, we go into audio and we can drag this all the way down. So that video has no volume now. Makes it really watchable and stops people from clicking away. So there we go. So that is the clip that we have put in there. And you can do that with multiple clips. We can put that all throughout the video, get rid of the audio, and we can just see we have that throughout the video. Perfect. So that's the B-roll done. Put that in the times when it makes sense. If you're talking about working, putting yourself in with a laptop, if you're talking about getting outside, a video of you getting outside, it really doesn't have to be overthought, just things that make sense within the video. It's a really great way to boost retention, would highly recommend. So the second thing we do, that's the B-roll. The second thing is we want to add in captions. And the reason that we want to add in captions is because what happens is they have worked out, Instagram put out a report that said that 40% of people watch Instagram videos with no sound on. So if you don't have captions in your videos, then 40% of the people will swipe off because they won't be able to hear anything. So we want to make sure that we capture that whole market by putting in captions. So what you do on CapCut is you go to this top left here and you go to captions, and we want to use the auto captions feature. And as you said, it's a pro feature. So this is why we want to be paying that money for the CapCut. But you then click generate, and what will happen is CapCut will generate you those captions, and it will do that. So if we just move this down here, now we can see we have our captions in the video. So useful, and that's a must do in the content creation space. So there's one little recommendation that I would say you must do in this, and that is change the font style, because the system font style, you've never seen font that looks like this on Instagram and TikTok. It's CapCut's native feature. What we want to do is change this to classic or classic 2. You can choose either or, whichever you look better, but that is what the native Instagram and TikTok captions look like. And then as we go through, so this video is all about a test video to show you exactly how to edit, but what the people, and there you have your captions in. One thing you could do, and this is then depending on your style, is you could make them smaller, you could put them up here, you could have them up here, but I like to have them here in my videos because people look at my face, so it then works perfectly. And then as you can see, we have the captions all throughout the video. So that is the captions done. We've got that in. That is step 4 complete. Okay. And then our last step is we want to export. And everyone loves to overcomplicate this. The gurus will try and tell you what quality to export it in. But simply enough, we just want to export it in the highest quality possible, because the quality is what Instagram work with. And the Instagram CEO came out and said that just export it in the highest possible quality, and that gives us the best thing to work with. So we press export once we've done everything, and then as you can see, we want it in the highest possible quality. So that's 4K, the 30 FPS frame rate, and then we are ready to export. So you choose on your computer where you export it, give it a quick name, tester, and then we press export. And that is ready to export, and we will be finishing this off tomorrow in the day 7. So thanks for sticking around. A short video tomorrow, and we will get that post done. I'll see you there. Okay, so welcome to day 7, the last day of the 7-day personal brand challenge. And today is a very exciting day because we are going to post our video that we've created over the last 6 days. Congratulations on making this far. This is the easy part now. Bear with me, and we will get to this video, and we are done and ready to get posting. It might feel scary, but that first post is the most important thing. And even if it isn't your first post, then I'm very excited to see you grow and grow and grow into the space using what you learned in the last 7 days. So what we're going to do is we're going to post it on Instagram here. I'm going to show you exactly what to do, but in general, this is the process that works. For Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts, you go onto the website and you just press post, and you go in to your downloads. As you can see here, here is my video in my computer. and we press next, and we press next again, and then we are ready to write our caption. And that is the most important thing that I want to talk about here, because I want to myth bust a few things. Firstly, the gurus will try and tell you that all these important small things factor into how well your video does. Hashtags make no difference. The Instagram CEO came out and said that. Posting time makes no difference. Some of my best performing videos have gone out in the middle of the evening, and hacks and tricks and tips and SEO, all in general, does not work, or it does not work to the point where you should be spending any time thinking about it. If you get a good idea and make a good script, then your video will do well. That is all you need to be thinking about right now with your videos. So don't worry about any of these hacks and tips and tricks. But this is one thing that I really want to get in people's minds, is that you should try and post your video absolutely everywhere. And here is an exact example why. Because I posted the same video here on YouTube and here on TikTok. On TikTok, it got 1,355 views. Did all right, didn't do amazingly. On YouTube, the exact same video, 4.6 million views. With content creation, it is not a knowledge specific, I know this is going to do well game. It is a case of getting numbers out there. And the more bits of content you can put out there, the better. So what I do, I post everything within my Instagram, within my TikTok, and within my YouTube to make sure it gives the maximum chance that all of it, that one piece can go viral. So 100% make sure you post things as many places as possible. I know it's a bit of effort, but I would make sure you're posting on at least Instagram and TikTok with the same bit of content. So when we do this, as you see here, you write a quick little caption called tester. Let's call it tester. And then you press the share button. I'm obviously not going to press share, but you post that, that is ready to go. And then within TikTok, we do the exact same thing. We go up here to upload. And then what we do is we upload the video and you go through and do the exact same process. And there we have it. We have the video posted. Congratulations on doing that. I want to see everyone's video. So let me know when you've posted your video. Comment and send it to me and I will review it and I'll comment on it and I'll share it with people. I love the fact you've made it this far. But you're probably wondering, what do I do now? What are the next steps? And I have two amazing options for you. The first is you can continue in the Free Thinkers Club, my community on School. Join it, meet like-minded people, join the calls, look at the modules. It will really help you grow your confidence in the online business space. But you're probably wondering, how do I get more personalized help? How can I actually get more of this advice one-to-one on how I grow my content and my online business? And that is where I have the Free Thinkers Accelerator. And the Free Thinkers Accelerator has two main aims. It's to grow an engaged audience and it's also to make money online. That's easy for me to say. I've done it myself. But what about the people I've worked with? First, Luke here. He had one call with me. He secured his first client online to work. He's never had a client before and he secured his first client online. And the second is he took my advice on the second call and he got his highest viewed video on Instagram. This other client here, he had a single call with me. He took my advice and got his most viewed Instagram ever. He had been in 200 view jail and has now got 1,000 views. And then on a second call, I gave him more advice and he's 4 videos deep and hasn't dropped under 1,000 views. We are changing the content game in this Free Thinkers Accelerator and it'd be cool to have you in there. I'm limiting the spaces now because all I want is amazing case studies. There'll be a link in the bottom of this video where you can book in a completely free strategy call with me. We work out how you can build your engaged audience, your content strategy, how to get started or how to keep growing, and also how you're going to start making money online. These clients they booked in that call and now they are absolutely killing it. So why not be part of them? I'm keeping things very limited for now because I just want case studies. So click the link to check out if I've run out of spaces or I might be able to have a strategy call with you. I'd love to see you in there if we still have spaces. And thanks very much for completing the 7-day personal brand challenge and I will see you around.